Hello, everyone. I'm the student of life, a student of life. So let's get to learning. Today's talk will be on the American crow, Corvus brachyrhynchos. Crows are fairly smart animals, but you won't see a wild one talking to you like a human. It would be weird to have one fly overhead and spout the line, "Hello, good sir. How's the weather today?" In this talk, I'll cover their species background details, range, home range, habitat, subspecies differences, differences between the American crow and two other similar species, behavior, communication, how the crow learns of what is dangerous, diet, courtship, nesting, how its young develop, its predators, and fun facts. Next. What genus, family, and order does the crow belong to? The American crow is part of the genus Corvus. The genus belongs to the family Corvidae, and the Corvid family are members of the order Passeriformes. What are the American crow's physical measurements? The bird's body length is 15.8 to 20.9 inches, or 40 to 53 centimeters. Its wingspan is 33.5 to 39.4 inches, or 85 to 100 centimeters, and its weight is 11.2 to 21.9 ounces, or 316 to 620 grams. One measures its body length from the beak's tip to the tail's tip. However, it is not an entirely accurate measurement. Also, 1 pound is 16 ounces if you want to convert ounces to pounds. What is the crow's average lifespan? The average lifespan is 14.58 years. What is this avian's conservation status? The International Union for Conservation of Nature lists the American crow in the least concerned category on their red list. Next. How wide is the American crow's range? The crow's range covers southern Canada, most of the lower 48 states in the USA, and partially along the state of Alaska's southern coast. You won't find this avian in the drier desert region in the southwestern United States or Canada's cold northern region. What is the size of the crow's territory? The crow's territory or home range can be anywhere from 0.04 square kilometers in the suburbs to 2.6 square kilometers in the wild. In imperial measurements, that is 0.02 to 1.00 square miles. Next, what natural habitats does the crow inhabit? The crow can be found in fields, open woodlands, forests, shrublands, and grasslands. What artificial habitats have they inhabited? You can find them in farmlands, city parks, landfills, and yards. What is a crow's preferred habitat? They prefer an open space with trees and an available food source. Next. What are the American crow's subspecies and their differences? Have there been any recent additions to the subspecies list? The 5 known subspecies of American crow are the eastern, Florida, southern, western, and northwestern. A simple definition of subspecies is that subspecies can interbreed and create viable offspring. By size difference from biggest to smallest, the list goes eastern, Florida, western, and southern, and the smallest is northwestern. Western and southern subspecies are similar in size. Scientists concluded the northwestern crow is an American crow subspecies in 2021 because of its genome. The genome is all of an organism's DNA. Next. Comparisons between two similar species. What are the differences between a common raven and an American crow? First, a raven croaks, while crows make a caw sound. Second, the common raven is bigger than the American crow. The raven's length is 24 inches or 61 centimeters. Its wingspan is 53 inches or 134.6 centimeters, and its weight is 2.6 pounds or 1,200 grams. Finally, the common raven's tail feathers look wedge-shaped rather than the roundish shape the crow's tail feathers have. What are the differences between American and a fish crow? First, the American crow sheds its feathers earlier than the fish crow. A crow molts after they finish breeding. An American crow breeds 1 or more months earlier than a fish crow. Last, fish crows have a call sounding like which differs from the American crow's call. Next, what are a few behaviors that an American crow displays? First, there is mobbing. Mobbing is an activity where more than one crow joins in to scold a predator or a non-predator. After noticing a nearby crow scold the target, other crows join in. Crows are not unique when it comes to mobbing. Second one is communal roosting. Communal roosting is where multiple animals, in this case crows, gather and stick around one another for a prolonged time. A roost's numbers range from a few hundred to 2 million crows. In late winter, crow numbers peak at a communal roost. Moving on, the third one is cooperative breeding. Cooperative breeding is done between a breeding pair and their helpers. The helpers, the offspring from the previous years that stayed in their parents' territory, help with several tasks. They feed the incubating female, feed the nestlings, and guard the family territory. What are the different calls they make? When communicating, American crows use various calls. Other crows react differently depending on the call. While there are several calls they can make, I will focus only on two. The first one is the assembly call. It is a raucous, intense call containing long notes. Its primary use is for assembling crows to mob a nearby predator, whether the predator is heard or seen. Other crows rapidly fly to the call's location. Last one I will discuss is a contact call. The typical sequence is a 4-note sequence by one crow in note pairs. American crows in pairs or groups use this to keep in contact with each other. They do this while they fly or are separated at a roost. Next, grudges and learning. The crow. As an aside, the person in these photos was someone I had as a professor at the University of Washington. Now it's time to get back to the crows. How do crows learn about danger? American crows have multiple ways to learn about danger. Crows have evolved with a part of their brain connected to social learning. The first way is through individual experiences. An American crow caught by a human before acts wary around them and will scold them. The second way is through horizontal social learning. A crow unrelated to the one trapped sees the crow being trapped and how the other crows react to it. Once they see that, they associate the actions done and scold the human they saw trapping the crow. The third way is through vertical social learning. A crow's offspring may witness their parents scolding an animal and learn to scold the target. It is through these methods that crows learn what creatures are safe or dangerous. Next, what is the crow's diet? Do they prey on birds' nests? Animal matter comprises 33% of the crow's diet. The animal matter they consume is invertebrates, insects, young birds, eggs, carrion, etc. Plant matter such as grains, nuts, fruits, etc. composes the rest of their diet. This species is a significant nest predator. A nest predator preys on another bird's young and eggs in a nest. A couple of endangered species they have preyed on are the western snowy plover and California least tern. Next, what is courtship? Courtship is a group of behaviors performed by males and females of the same species when seeking a mate. In the case of crows, the male woos the female. What are the steps to the American crow's courtship? While the courtship steps may vary for individual crows, they have a standard set of steps they do. The male closes the distance to the female. The male then bows twice, spreading their wings and tail and puffing up their body feathers. This is followed up by singing a rattling song while lowering their head and finishing when their head is lower than their feet. They repeat the song and the head lowering till they are accepted or rejected. Next, where do they make their nests? There are a variety of spots where they make their nest, such as trees, bushes, telephone poles, etc. The distance from the ground to the crow's nest ranges from 18 to 60 feet, or 5.5 to 18.3 meters. What materials do they use for their nests? They use sticks and tough stems to form the nest's exterior. On the inside, they use various nest lining materials such as shredded bark, feathers, grass, etc. Where do they prefer to place their nests? The American crow prefers evergreen trees as their nesting site. What is the egg count per clutch? Do crows lay only one brood per year? A crow can lay 3 to 9 eggs per clutch. Typically, a crow lays 4 to 6 eggs. A crow can have 1 to 2 broods per year. Usually, they have one brood. Next, how do their young develop? First, the female of the breeding pair incubates the eggs. The egg hatches after 16 to 18 days. When they hatch, they only have down feathers covering portions of their body. Second, they stay in the nest as nestlings for 20 to 40 days till they fledge. They leave the nest after that. Do young crows ever stick around their parents for long? The American crow never chases away their young. The crow will stay in the territory where they were born. They may live with their parents for up to approximately 5 years. Why do they wait? As for the second question, they are awaiting a breeding opportunity to present itself either nearby or a chance for them to usurp a spot in their parents' territory. Why do crows disperse? What is the shortest and longest distance a crow flew to find their new territory? It may be because of finding a breeding opportunity. As for the second question, the shortest distance a crow flew was 75 meters and the longest was 65 kilometers. Next, what predators do the crows have? Their predators include great horned owls, raccoons, red-tailed hawks, humans, snakes, domestic cats, etc. It all depends on where the crow lives. Next, we are moving on to some cool facts about the American crow. First, a few crows have lived longer than the average lifespan. The oldest wild crow photographed in Washington state was 17 years and 5 months of age. The oldest captive crow found in New York was 59 years old. Second, the American crow is the only one that breaks off from the usual pattern among cooperative breeders. An American crow leaves his family turf and joins a communal roost at night during winter. Third, an American crow learned to use a stick as a weapon after seeing the stick used against it by Steller's jay. They determined how to use an object by watching another creature use it. Next, here are my references separated into written and visual lists. I hope everyone learned something today. If not, I hope to reinforce some old facts. I'm leaving you all with one last piece of advice. As the world keeps on turning, one can keep on learning. Thank you for listening to my talk, and goodbye.